Fight!
Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. On today's review, we take a look at the Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat Cyrax. Today, I'll be reviewing this figure in 6 categories: accessories, articulation, design, is it essential to your collection, functionality, and price. Once all scores are totaled, I'll give you my opinion if this figure is a pass or a purchase. So for accessories, we truly do not get a lot. Certainly don't get as much as we did with Smoke. So starting with the star of the show would be the Asset Net, which really looks good, and I would say it's my favorite accessory, but it's not like we have a lot to compare it to. But it's done particularly well, and I'm very happy with this. In addition, we receive 4 pair of hands in total, which are the exact same hands that comes with Smoke. And this time around, we only receive 1 bomb to where Smoke had 4. So I'm not sure why they didn't throw in the additional 3 bombs. It would have helped for the lack of accessories that we receive. And lastly, we receive additional plugs that plug into the back of his head. I don't recall if these came with Smoke. It is possible that it was in a package and I overlooked it. So for accessories, it is very underwhelming. It's not a lot that you receive here. So for overall accessories, I'm going to give Cyrax a 4 out of 10. So for articulation, the neck and torso are all one piece, so you don't get that added range of movement within the neck. So using just the head, you're able to get Cyrax to look up about that much. He's able to look down that much, get a good amount of pivot, as well as is able to rotate a full 360. So now using the arms, the arm is able to go up about that much. It is restricted by this piece here, which is a soft piece of rubber. However, it still prevents the arm from fully extending. The arm is able to rotate. There's a butterfly joint, which works very well. Comes in about that much and out about that much. You do have upper bicep cut. The arms are double jointed, bending in that much. The wrists are able to rotate as well as hinge up and down and side to side, as long as you find the right line towards that peg. So now focusing on the torso. The torso has an A and B component. Using just the A, which is the upper part, you're really not able to get a lot of range of movement as far as leaning him back nor forward. Barely any pivot. You do, however, get a great range of movement as far as rotation with the upper part. Using the combination of 2, Cyrax is able to lean back about that much, forward that much, able to go side to side, and you also get a great amount of pivot. The legs are able to split to a full 360. I think I can get it a little more than what we see here. All these pieces are pliable. I believe it's rubber, could be soft plastic, but they do give way. So the legs are able to kick out about that much. Backwards that much. You do get rotation. There is no swivel at the boot. The knees are double jointed, bending in that much. The feet are able to lift up that much, down that much. Starting with outward pivot, it pivots on this weird angle, but there is a good amount of pivot here. And on the inside, it pivots well too. And then you get toe articulation bending bending up that much, excuse me, and it does not bend down. I just wanted to see something for a minute. I believe that the ankle articulation on this figure is a little better than that on Smoke. And it has to do with the ball pen. I believe the way that this one is aligned, it just allows it to work a little bit better. So for overall articulation, I'll be giving Cyrax an 8 out of 10. So for design, Cyrax has a yellowish and blend of goldish color, which is done in a metallic paint. Unlike Smoke, I feel that in both sections here, the paint is actually the same color. And you can see the shimmer throughout, which is doing a good job reflecting the light. Something that I really like on this figure is that you can see the wear, especially down here as well. And not to say that this wasn't done on the Smoke figure. However, being that this is a light of color, it is more prominent to see. Just like Smoke, the entire body is done in a black. Well, the black part of the body is done in a matte paint, rather. I do feel that the silver isn't as shiny as it is on Smoke, and that simply could be that this is against a lighter color versus one that's darker. But the hands themselves do seem noticeably darker. Yeah, aside from the yellow paint, it is the exact same figure. So for overall design, I'm going to give Cyrax a 10 out of 10. So is Cyrax essential to your collection? So let's simply break this down into 3 different tiers. Scorpion and Sub-Zero are tier 1 characters. Reptile and New Sabot, I'm going to say, are tier 2 characters. And the cyborg ninjas are tier 3 characters. So in the scoring department, I'm actually going to give Cyrax a 1-up on Smoke, simply because Smoke has a previous version in his original ninja form, to where Cyrax, this is the first version that we saw of him in Mortal Kombat 3. So as far as being essential to your collection, I'm going to give Cyrax a 6 out of 10. So for functionality, we'll just start with the top. With the head, you don't get a lot of range of movement looking upward, simply because the neck is attached to the torso, so it doesn't allow for the neck to push back and sort of to tilt the head up, but you do get a decent amount. Just jumping down to the shoulders for a moment, this piece is a very pliable piece of rubber. However, if it was gone, if it was completely removed, the arm would move up a lot more. Focusing on the chest compartment, Smoke comes with accessories that you are able to plug in, and then this here seems more of a functional part of the figure. With Cyrax, unfortunately, there's nothing to plug in place. So one of the few accessories that Cyrax come with, which I actually like, it would have been cool to have some sort of smaller mechanism as if it was shooting out. Unfortunately, we do not. We just simply have this big piece, which doesn't attach anywhere to Cyrax, which doesn't have some original thread that looks like it's shooting out of here, which would have been so cool if it actually did. And just like Smoke, Cyrax comes with this bomb, but again, it doesn't store anywhere within the body. Would have been really cool if it did, or simply attach here. And for Cyrax, that is the end of the accessories that he comes with the exceptions of his hands. And I'm going to go ahead and swap it out. And the hands are the same color on both figures. To swap it out is simple enough. Simply pull and just push in place. And then just coming down to the bottom, I think this is one of the figures that should have had a cut around the boot. The line work is actually here, however, it's just not functional. And now going on to the ankles, to where I'm subtracting perhaps the largest amount of points. Maybe not. Maybe it's accumulation of things. As you can see, it turns on an angle. It is better than no articulation at all. However, this angle is not something that's desirable. You can attempt to move it around, but no matter what you do, it's still on an angle. So lastly, Cyrax comes with a additional package of tentacles, and you can see that I have one missing. It came on a figure, but at some point my son grabbed it and took a bite out of it, and who knows where it is. So I'm happy that they actually included additional pieces. So for overall functionality, I'm going to go ahead and give Cyrax a 6 out of 10. So before we move on to pricing, I forgot to mention something in the functionality department. This part of Cyrax is extremely loose. So I'm going to see if it's something that I can do on my own. If not, I may end up returning this figure. So now on to pricing. Cyrax comes priced in at $75. That is before shipping. That is before taxes. Being that I was able to pick this up at New York Comic-Con, I saved on shipping. Throw in the $5 for taxing, and you're looking for taxes, you're looking at a price point of approximately 80 bucks. So now is Cyrax worth the price of admission? So first, let's see what he comes with. In terms of accessories, not a hell of a lot. It is very limited in what we actually receive for this figure. In addition, it's no originality. This is the second of the cyborg ninjas that we are receiving, and it is a Claire repaint. Add in the fact that this has a 20% markup over the original Scorpion and Sub-Zero that released with Storm Collectibles. That prices this figure over the others. However, it comes with less stuff. So for pricing, I'm going to go ahead and give Cyrax a 6 out of 10, which should give Cyrax an overall cliff score of 39 out of 60. If you're wondering why such a huge change in points, Smoke came in at a 47 out of 60. This I just mentioned is 39 out of 60. And there are some reasons why. First being the accessories. Smoke comes with a lot to where Cyrax does not. So there was a huge drop in points for accessories. In addition, there was a loss of points in the pricing area. For a figure to be a repeat and to come with less, it's no way I could have gave him the same points in pricing as I did Smoke. And also in the functionality department, Cyrax also took some losses as his weapons do not work in conjunction with his body. So is he a pass or a purchase? I really want to say that this figure is a pass for me. I mentioned in the previous Smoke review that being that so far I have been a completionist with Storm Collectible Mortal Kombat characters, that only for that reason Smoke was a purchase. And it is the same thing with Cyrax. I'm just to the point to where I'm sick of the ninjas. I wouldn't mind having them all, but I would like the introduction of new characters. I get why Storm Collectibles did it the first time around. New company, pushing new products, wanted to create a mold and sell as many as they could. This is 2 to 3 years after, and there are so many other characters in the Mortal Kombat lineup. To continue to get the same repeats over and over is now starting to wear me down with the lineup. So I say all of that to say that he is a purchase simply because I'm trying to complete all of the characters for the game. So here's Cyrax by itself. Here's Cyrax next to NECA's New York Comic Con exclusive 2-pack of Green Lantern and the Predator. Forgot that for a moment. Which I should be reviewing that 2-pack shortly. And here's Cyrax next to Omega Rugal from King of Fighters 98. And here's Cyrax next to Marvel Legends Wolverine from the Wolverine vs. Hulk 2-pack, which I have already reviewed. So I want to thank you for taking time to tune in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop, and I hope to see you during the next review.